Hi, Bo here from High Tech Investment, and welcome back to the channel where today we're going to have a closer look at our Wave Liberator EA. Yes, this is not a particular new one. It is one of the newer versions from the Expert Forex Liberator range, and we are looking just at the Wave one. There's a different one called ISI. This one is different entry points, and what we're going to have a look at today is exactly how well it has done. We have quite a few accounts already set up. They have been trading for more than 100 days, some of them already. And as you will see here, it has 100% success rate, which is quite astonishing when it comes to any type of robot trading. But they have been doing extremely well. And I'm going to show you exactly how I have done this, and also the portfolio that I'm trading all of them in, how well they are, especially both the profits, but also the drawdowns that come together with this, which seems to be a lot easier to actually follow and keep under control. But we're going to have a closer look at every single part of that. And today we're going to use our website because everything is documented on our website. It's for free. You can simply go and have a look through it and see which ones you want to do, go and analyze the individual signals, or even have a look at our entire portfolio. It's up to you. So let's get started and let's have a look exactly how it actually has progressed in the last many weeks and months. So when you arrive at our website, we go simply to the portfolio section in here where we have a lot of different EAs currently running, and all of it is again for free. You can have a look at how we are testing things and how well they've been doing. And basically the Wave Liberator is the first one you have up here at the moment. So if we take a click in here, then we will see obviously a bit of information about the Liberator itself. And some of these things have actually also changed because the Wave Liberator started its life slightly different. Started actually with both a different name, and was also having a bit of focus on the FTMO trading at that particular time, which looked very, very promising. But again, it is the Forex market. It is extremely difficult here, again, to try and keep within the 5% limitations. That is so important on the FTMO trading. Otherwise, you will simply lose out on the challenges in here. And then obviously you won't either get the individual profits that follow with it. Now, the FTMO trading is still very much a possibility. And some of the details we have in here is still from the initial part where at first Expert Forex was setting up different accounts for us. So this was run through the copy link service. There wasn't an EA particularly for this one here. It was trading up to 16 different currency pairs. So this was the history behind it. Or now you can have individual currency pairs also on this particular section here. We, as always, have our website set up in such a way that you can also see the individual weeks, and this is what we have now. So if you have a look at the Wave Liberator, you can always look 4 weeks back in here, or you can obviously go on our news studio where all these things will be covered. So the Wave Liberator for week 50, the top 5 EAs in here, they actually made $457 or 9.2%. And the important part in here is actually the top 5 traded currencies each week will be shared, as I just mentioned here, verifying them through the FXBlue links that you have below, and we will get back to that. And then the posted results are presented as a percentage adjusted for the 1,000 accounts. So basically each account is set up with a $10,000 account behind it. But because we are running extremely low drawdowns on this particular part, and you'll see more of that, we are basically using the numbers because you can actually use $1,000 accounts. We are not recommending it because we would like to sleep well at night. So the recommendations will also come. We suggest that you go a couple of thousand higher just to make sure. And the reason for this is obviously also you can see the individual weeks of 51 here. And this is weekly profits of over 10%. So they are extremely high. And on an average for these 5 in here, you can see $517 or 10.3%. Again, some massive gains on these particular ones. Week 52, which is supposed to be Christmas time and very low of trading, still manages an astonishing $365 or 7.3%. And again, this is on 5 $1,000 accounts that the numbers are lining up at. And now we're in 2024. Continues to be extremely well. We are in single digits at the moment. So with $86 as the number one for the Aussie USD, and then total 306 or 6.1%. So they are definitely very, very high numbers. There was also 3 sets of accounts, and this is what we started off with. And normally you have the latest video up here, so the first results that we revealed. And if we just scroll down for a second, we can see that we started off, and this was the prop crusher or cruncher. It also had various names in there. We did quite a few videos on that particular part. Also how you could start your 200,000 FTMO trading journey with this particular one when the prop cruncher was actually launched. And then some of the winning strategies we had in here. And basically getting very excited as the top EAs was getting better and better. And then as the Liberator version split into the Wave and RSI, then it came up, and we did this particular video here with the first results that we actually wanted to reveal for you. Now, if you scroll further down, you will see even more profits that we have in here. Again, we are telling you here also for the postal results that these are calculated into $1,000 accounts. And if we have a look, so this is now 4 months back, but this is for the months of September. You can see that they are doing pretty much 20%, so 23.5, 21.5. And on average, they actually done 19.8% in September. And then we have a look at October in here, again, more than $1,000 and 21.3% also for that particular month of October. November was extremely good, as we are also getting a few more EAs in. We started off with 4 or 5, and now we're up to 13. You can see again the top 5 here, they are getting even better. Extremely good month here with 43% for that particular month. On an average 29.4% or $1,467. So some extreme high numbers all the way through with the Liberator version here. And then December, even though again December has a lot of holidays, things could slow down. This EA simply cashes in over 50% for USDCAD in a single month. It's quite astonishing again, $1,453 or 29.1%. So you can definitely water down some of the profits here. Don't be so greedy. And that is part of what we also mentioning here. We have the entire portfolio that we are trading. We're going to get back to that in a second. And that, again, we strongly recommend trading the Wave Liberator in the portfolio. And you will understand why as we go through this particular video here. And then also we say before you connect with any trading signals that we have on the coupling service with Expert Forex, it is very important here again that you have a solid understanding on how the EA or robot operates. Understand that you have to assess and manage the risk yourself in here. You and you alone are responsible for your trading. So, but it's again worth noting that each of the account has listed below, and we're going to have a look at those, is designed for trading on $10,000 accounts, ensuring it operates within the required 5% drawdown limit, which is essential for the proprietary trading companies. If you go over that, you are simply out. You are not losing your money because you are trading with other people's money. But basically what we are trying to do in here, again, is trying to backtest everything to make sure that we don't go over about 3.5% or $350 in a drawdown in here. That is basically what we try to achieve, and we also find good settings for that. But again, this is the Forex market, so things will change. And that's also why we have written in here again that if you want to trade the Wave Liberator year links, we recommend you use a minimum of 3,000 per account for any Forex currency to reduce your risk. And it comes back again to the part up here that you can see that even if you put it on a $3,000 account, you will still make roughly around 10% per month. And if you continue to do that every single month, then definitely that will be the best way forward with a good stable return. Now all of these here will lead you to FXBlue, and we're going to have a look at all of them here in a second. The other one here is the Expert Forex link. where you can find a lot more details in here. If you click that particular link, it will also take you to the Expert Forex copy link service, and link to success is basically over here. And from there on, you can see even more signals. But we're going to stick on the page here where you have a few more details on the sales page, the Premier Forum also that we are using. There's a lot of traders in there now trading that Wave Liberator and many other EAs from Expert Forex. And then we have some prop trading videos, VPS Forex trader that we are using for all our setups here. We want the absolute best for our signals. And then also one of the brokers that we have used for many years, the IC Markets in here. Well, let's go and have a look first at the Wave Liberator portfolio overall to see the individual accounts right after this. So as we click the link on the website, we're actually getting to the FXBlue site in here, the trading results for the Forex Liberator in here. In this particular case, it is still the Wave one we are talking about. You can see here that the balance itself is at 138. And at the moment, as I mentioned here, we have 13 accounts now of $10,000 each. And at the moment also we have a floating profit loss here of minus 137, which is extremely low compared to this has been trading for a fair bit of time, 139 days. So this is not just a beginning in here with low profit or loss. Closed profits more than 8,000, free margin obviously more than plenty, a margin in use very small at the moment. So this account is also 1 to 200 leverage, so that we can use it for FTMO trading if need be. And then obviously the portfolio type in here. If we go and have a closer look also at some of the other details that we have, total return is 8.2%, which is obviously nice, but the monthly return is calculated at 1.7. Now the reason for that again is because we are running on $10,000 accounts, so that basically means that you have to time this by 10. So if you have 13 $1,000 accounts, you would make 17% per month. Again, we don't really recommend that. We recommend you take a slow, steady approach to this instead, but it is obviously entirely up to you. The weekly returns here is 0.4, and again can be up to 4% depending on how much money you're actually putting in. Trade wins is a very good 69%, straight profit factor more than 2, and you can see so far it has traded over 11,200 pips in here, trades per day 13.7, and a history of 139 days. So very good and stable results overall. And then all the currency pairs that we are currently trading in here, as you can see, we have 9 on this particular side and another 4, so that makes it up for the 13 in total. If we have a quick look over on the stats itself, we'll also notice here that there's going to be an additional part. So when it comes to weekly, monthly profits, history as we have seen it already, so those things are in here. And if we have a look on a weekly basis and just scroll down to the bottom, you can see here we started back in August, so this was 20th of August. We can see the exact date if we have a look at that, so 22nd, okay. And since then it has been cashing in every single week. There's not a single week it's out. The best one was back here in October, end of October, 710. And if we just drop this down a bit, we can also see the individual profits. Obviously August was only half a month, and since then it has been cashing in quite well. We added more EAs, which is also the reason why things were looking a bit better. And at the moment January is now up with 534 in here. You'll see the individual accounts that we also have over here again, and you can both dissect them in net profits. So the best one is Euro Swiss francs. So far it's made over 1,000, so that means already if you had a 1,000 account, you would have managed to get your money back for this particular one. Winning percentage is 71 over here. If we have a quick look, we can see the lowest one is 62 and the highest is 75. So this is Aussie New Zealand, and that one hasn't had too many trades yet, and it hasn't really cashed in that much either. But let's go back for a sec and just have a look. see how the drawdowns are doing overall. Again, this is very important when it comes back into the individual drawdowns, especially if you want to have proprietary trading. Some of the information and details that we have here, you can see that we started off with 8 accounts as it looks like here, and then we ended up with the 9 and then up to 13 in here. So let's go back to the other picture we have. So a nice steady progress of profit. And if we then have a look at the equity in here, you'll see that it has followed it, not too far off, but we can't really see anything out of that one. So floated profits a lot better. So in the beginning, where we only had about 4, we were down by 1,200. Then we've seen some drawdowns of about 3,000, 3,100, and this is the biggest one we had here recently, 3,850. And again, this basically comes in at a very low, less than 3%. So in the drawdown compared to 130,000, you can obviously again put it into a 100,000 or 200,000 account. It's entirely up to you. But still, if it would have been within a 100,000 mark, still doing a nice little profits. And you will also get a nice little bonus at the end of the time, because you are well within the drawdown limits for the FTMO. So that means that the monthly returns, you would obviously have received a couple of percent in here, maybe not 10 or 20%, but you are still trading with 100, 200,000 or even 500,000, depending on the proprietary trading companies that is out there. And just having a small piece of the pie in there can definitely give you a very good monthly profit. So let's go back and have a look at the individual accounts here to see how well they have done. And also, more importantly, have a look at some of the drawdowns they had in the beginning, since we have adjusted them. So the first one we jump to here is the trading results 1K, so link 148C. This is basically the setup for all the Wave Liberator signals that we have on Expert Forex coupling service. Let's go and have a look. It's Aussie Swiss francs in here. Again, very nice curve. We can see the original balance of 10,000 is now up to 10,709. No floating profits means that there's no trading going on as it is right now. Total return at the moment after 139 days is 7%. Monthly return again calculated at 1.5, so it's a bit low. But then again, if you have it on a $1,000 account, you would get 15% or weekly returns of 3. Trade wins a bit low, 62.6%. Profit factor is 3, so still looking okay and certainly taking some pips in here. And let's have a look and see exactly the equity in here. That looks not too bad. We can see it doesn't really bottom out, but let's go for the floating profit loss in here instead. So there was a few ups and downs, minus $224, and this one $264. So it's keeping well within what it's supposed to do at the end of the day, and obviously that's what we want it to do. That's also the reason why this one is running quite well. If we have a quick look just at the stats to see what comes out of this particular one, so especially because it has been running since the early beginning here, so this was one of the absolutely first signals that came in. Again, the same information that we have. And if we have a look at the weekly results, we can see again the net profits 20, 30, 21, 12, 25. So it's doing quite well. Monthly basis here, first month again in August, 40, 75, 178, 159, 224, and then at the moment here in January, 31. So it's pretty okay. So all the way through, we certainly like this signal. No point of changing anything in here. Go to the next one. Again, you will be able to see these particular numbers up here, so you can link up to them if that's what you want. Again, this particular one also in a nice profit. No floating minus, plus or minus at all in here. It had a bit of a drawdown, so we're going to have a look at that. Otherwise, it was running quite nicely here. Return 8.4, monthly returns 1.7 or 17% if you want to do that. or you can even say, well, I want to trade it on $5,000 accounts instead. You can basically have the amounts in here. Again, 139 days, so some of the early ones in here, but let's go and have a look and see what the floating profit is here. We can see there's a bigger one in here, and yeah, that's up to 1,036. So again, as we mentioned, obviously if this was a $1,000 account, you would have been kicked out here by now. And you can see in between here, so both on the drawdown that we tested for more than a year, we never got over 350. You can see that also lines up very nicely with everything that we had here. A couple of hundred only down, this one 193, and everything looks fine, and then boom, all of a sudden this comes in. And again, we have to say welcome to Forex trading. You can do all the testing and back testing and forward testing as you like. Things look very nice, and then all of a sudden things change a bit. And the only way you can actually accommodate for all this is stop being so greedy, as we talked about before. Put in a bit more money in your account. And if you would have put in, as we mentioned or also recommend many times, 3,000 instead, then definitely it would have been okay. So you would only had just over 30-35% in the drawdown, still very high for this particular account here. But obviously it would have made sure that you also survive for this particular account. If we go, and this was the Aussie USD, I see down here, yes, so it can be quite volatile from time to time. The next one, so is 150C, and this one is the Euro Swiss francs. Again, also this one here did quite well, also seems to have the same issue in here. So even though this is not the US dollars, it still have an impact on it. We're going to have a look at that. You can see this is the account that has actually doubled if it was on a $1,000 account, because it's made close profit 1,068. But otherwise it is still very good accounts. Total return 10.6, monthly return 2.2. So even though you want to put this down to half of it, that would mean about 11% that you would gain in here, or 2.5% on a weekly basis. Trade wins are really good, 71.6%, so definitely one of the better ones. Risk reward ratio also quite high, 10.26, so definitely up there with some of the best. Let's go and have a look at the floating profits, how bad it was. This was definitely also quite bad. And again, 1,600, so you would have made it if you would have had a 3,000 account. And you can see in between here, very, very nice numbers. Everything seems to be completely under control. Then you get this particular part here, and then look again afterwards. So it's simply just cashing in very nicely all the way through, only at 108. So again, this becomes extremely difficult sometimes to control. And there's only one way, and that is obviously you can heighten the gap size, you can lower the lot size, but we also at the end of the day needs to have a bit of profit coming in. And that's why, as you will see here also when we are looking at the portfolio overall, that it gives a better idea of not trading necessarily individual accounts, but you're putting everything in the portfolio. That way also you have less drawdowns overall when you have them in here. Net profits, again, they are looking pretty okay. Lower than 100, only one particular week that is above. So that was in early December. For the month, you have very solid results, I can see, in the 200 range every single time. Let's see if it's gonna match up on this particular one too. Next account we have in here is the Euro Great British Pounds. That one looks a bit more choppy. It looks like they had a few drawdowns here and there. Let's go and have a look at that. Made 700 so far. Floating profits actually in plus at the moment, 3.66. Again, returns 7%, monthly returns 1.5, or if you are again trading the 1,000 accounts, you would be having 15. So let's have a look at the drawdowns for this. I believe this one is also fairly high because it came at the same time, 1,200, yeah. And before that, it was reaching in here. We made some adjustment for that particular one here. It was a lot better. And again, all of a sudden you get these big spikes that you don't really can control very easily. Next one here, you can see trading results. So this is the account number at the moment. That means that that one is not with the coupling service. It also looks like it had either some drawdowns, 66 days for this particular one, EURUSD. So again, it has only made 205 so far, a close profit, but again, there's no open trades. So everything is okay. Monthly returns is 0.9, so that's a bit on the low side definitely at the moment, but it hasn't traded for that long either. Floating profits, let's see. Yeah, it's been a bad boy with the 900, and this one here also with 1,000, but it is keeping within it, so we might have to make some further adjustments again to this. As we mentioned before, even all the back testing has shown no more than 350. So again, the market would always tell you, if you're wrong, you simply can't basically trade your way out of this without the marking biting you at some point. Great British Pounds USD, what a nice curve this one has. It doesn't look like it has too much. There's a little drawdown here also. So that seems to have affected all the US accounts. And even beyond, we have almost $1,000 in here, 993. Again, no plus or minuses on the account. Total return 9.9, monthly returns 2%. 0.5% in here, 139 days, so that one has done quite well. Let's look at the drawdowns that we have in here, and they come very sharp. So 229, 258, 386, so that actually keeps well within, minus 394, so that is doing quite well, even though we do get them from time to time. So that one looks pretty okay. The next one, New Zealand USD. Oh, that one also has a long drawdown here. That again also looks to be doing quite well. Also made almost $1,000 already here. Total return 9.4, monthly returns 2.0, weekly returns 0.5 in here. And let's have a look at the drawdown, the floating profit. What do we get? We have one. And again, you can look at these and go, wow, things are going really, really well here. And then you get that one of 1,247. And then again, it behaves, everything runs very, very nicely. We know we have made some changes on this one here too since then. But we don't really want to delete these particular results in here. We want to make sure that you can see what is actually happening instead of replacing them with a new account, because we know some of these things will actually come back no matter what. It has 139 days of trading in here, again New Zealand USD, so it can be a bit of a volatile one, but it seems to have done quite well. And as you'll see, this one could also easily have survived if you were a bit more conservative and again using 2,000 or 3,000 as an account size instead. Another one, a bit choppy, looks like a drawdown here and here in the beginning. Again, no plus or minuses, so everything is closed, which is actually what we like compared to the profit retriever that continues to have open trades all the time. And also the hedged EA will also have something like that. We have the total return 8.1%, monthly returns 1.7, weekly returns 0.4. So again, looks also good. Trade wins over 70%, 139 days USDCAD. And let's have a look and how that has been doing. It's up, that has certainly been up there also, 2,000. And this one here we also made some changes on. And since then it has been running quite well. But all of them here, again, I have to emphasize, it was actually back tested for more than a year. And still we get these particular ones coming from time to time. This one here was a huge dip coming in very quickly and coming out again. But obviously, if you are trading on the bigger portfolio, these things, it can actually survive a lot easier. Let's have a look at the next one. US Swiss francs. This is a new one, 41 days, has made 587, and again, no floating profit or minus. Total return 5.9, monthly returns is 4.1. So that's certainly on the high side for this particular one here compared to the other ones, because if we then translate it into 1,000, it's a monthly return of 41%. Weekly returns is at 1%. So quite high in here overall. let's have a look to see what are the drawdowns for this particular one. There is one, but wow, they are very, very small. 60 only in here, $60. So definitely, so this account here needs to go on the coupling service. So obviously you'll see that shortly. And as you enter, you'll also notice that this will then change at some given point. The next one is 155C. So that also means 139 days. It's the US Japanese, so very volatile, definitely accounts. It has made money, 675 in here. Again, no profit or loss, so it means it's stopped at the moment. Monthly returns 1.4, and then week returns 0.3 in here. Again, let's have a look at the drawdowns. Let's see how well it did. There is a big spike, also similar to the other times we had, 2000. And otherwise, look at it, how very nice it is. There's hardly anything. It goes in the right direction all the time. And here we have minus 606, and then 2000 all of a sudden, and then it lines up again. So extremely difficult to get this right every single time. There's no doubt about it at all here. The next one, so is the also one of the newer accounts because it doesn't have a number yet here. 41 days, Aussie, New Zealand, and that one hasn't made so much money yet. It's not in plus or minus, so no open trades. 124 in profit in here. Total return 1.2, and then monthly returns 0.9 only. So that means again 9% if you had it on an account. So of $1,000. Weekly return 0.2. And let's have a look also on the floating profits that we have in here. That looks okay, $85.49. Looks like it's trading nice and steadily all the way through. Last one we have is the Great British Pounds Japanese, so that's another volatile one for sure. We can see this one here is the one that has a bit of minus, 116 at the moment in floating profits. Close profit is, however, 233, so still that one is also profitable. Total return 1.2%, monthly returns 1.7, which is not too bad at all. Weekly returns 0.4, and also this one is 39 days old. And let's have a look at the drawdowns that we have in here. There's one big spike, 380, so that keeps within where we want it to be roughly, so definitely below 500, below 300 even if we could, but that also looks like it's been trading quite nicely all the way through. Last but not least, we're also going to have a look here at the trading account, this particular one here, which is the New Zealand Japanese. So that's another one that also can be quite volatile, 41 days in here, as you can see. And it has made $154 so far, so that is definitely on the lower side compared to what we else have. But again, it is profitable, it is successful. And if we have a look, there is certainly a drawdown in here. Let's have a look and see where we are with that. And I guess this is FXBlue. That is not showing us exactly what it is. It's showing a bit too nice of a graph, but definitely there was a bit of a drawdown on that particular one in here. There's no doubt about it. So when it looks like this, then you had a drawdown. The question is how big that particular one was. But let's then use the last part here just to go and have a look and see how well it did. So if it was stable all the way through, so we know that's obviously only a few $100 in here, so we need a bit more. And let's see on the weekly basis. So here we have 12, 18, 46. Okay, so that's quite low. 23 and 50, 53 month again. So it is cashing in every single month, but it is on the low side at the moment. So hopefully it will pick up with the rest of the market here very, very soon. Now I did start this video here explaining that we had a 100% success rate, and just to show you again how we came about that particular number, we click on the Wave Liberator portfolio overview that we spent a bit of time on earlier in this particular video. We come up over here, and again, as part of this, you can see obviously only a small floating profit at the moment, but if we go onto the portfolio site here, we can then see the individual links, all the individual accounts that I've just gone through here with you. And you can see there we have all 13 in here. You can see the individual portfolio numbers. So some of them are registered with Expert Forex already, and the rest is being added as I'm shown to you here with the about 41 days with the new accounts. And then have a look at the equity. Every single one in this particular one here has a positive equity since we started off. That means every single one of the accounts is above the $10,000 mark that we started off. And you can also go and have a look at the floating profit and loss in here. So minus 13, minus 11, and this is the biggest one here, minus 116 at the moment. You can see the floating profit in percentage, so minus 0.12, 0.1, and again here minus 1.14 at the end of the day. So these are extremely good numbers. You can even see the last upload, the last details. Now this is the weekend, so nothing will actually happen in the Forex market here until Sunday evening, where everything starts all over again. So these are brand new numbers and numbers that you can actually follow. You can also see the total part down here with the balance, the equity you have, the maximum floating profit, and then look at the floating profit in percentage. It's only minus 0.1% in here. And then obviously you have the free margin. So this particular account is extremely safely run, as we said at the moment. You can use something like this for the FTMO trading going forward. But you can also do similar to what I'm doing here. So now I have taken all the accounts into one portfolio. What you can do is you can subscribe to, let's say, 3 or 5 individual accounts in here, and then you can add them together in your own portfolio and then trade the FTMO trading, because you can also adjust the lot sizing. So in here, or the risk, so you can either increase the risk or lower the risk by going in on a different 1-to-1 ratio when it comes to how much chance you want to take on your individual trading. It's entirely up to you, but you have all the details, you have all the information gathered in one place for you. So I really hope this makes sense. So even though the percentage numbers look low, you can see at the end of the day how it can actually be used and how you can make a lot more profit out of this particular one here. So that's what I had for you in this particular video here, coming back on the Wave Liberator 100% success rate. You have seen it, it has been documented. You can now go in and have a look at our website. You can even head over to Expert Forex and find our links in there, match them up as you see fit. So with the individual currencies, see which ones has the best drawdowns, see which one has the best profits. It's entirely up to you. Combine them all, and then you can use those particular signals also for your proprietary trading, FTMO trading, whatever you want to call it in here. And then you can adjust your risk up or down, as I mentioned here before. It is entirely up to you, but this is definitely a very good way for traders that are not really skilled at setting up these particular parts. They don't want to maybe invest in too many VPSs or tests, or don't really have the time to do it. Other people have done it for you, similar to what we have in here. You pick and choose exactly what it is that you want, and you also set your own risk strategy in here. So for now, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on one of my next videos. Bye-bye.